Yeah? Okay. Where do you think St George scored most of their points? Okay. So from taps from this side of the field, you can pretty much expect the ball to keep going to that side. So they're the sort of things that you can get your head around. A couple more. So you might be saying to your particular team here, these blokes take 3 plays to set something up. Or these guys like to get to the far post in 2 plays. Just little things. Okay. Indicator. Might be Jared Hayne out the back. Okay. Felidi Mateo. You've got to mark up on that guy, don't you? Okay. It's no good expecting the ball to go out the back because it hadn't happened yet. So just think, where's their favourite go-to side? Where's the indicator? Is he left-hand side, right-hand side? Does he like to play at the middle of the field? We'll put one in for Noddy. We've got to look after him here. Righto. So, how many players on the Roosters short side there? 2? Set play, mate. So, you know, they got 1 defender up against 2, one of which is Jamal Idris. Jamal Idris, you've got a fair target, isn't he? But I tell you what, he's a fair sell too for our man up the back here to say, here you go, oh, no, I'll get out the back. Okay, so straight away, they're putting 2 on 1 here. Right. Pet play. So it might be a pet play. You might have identified the fact that Mitchell Pearce is going to chase out he's going to chase out mad. Okay, there might be a back rower tying in, which there is most times. Okay, but you're still going to get a chance to get this winger backing off, or isolate him, one or the other. So all they've done there is just come out. Okay, Locke's picked the ball up. He's gone at Pearce to hold him up, so he can't go any further away from the scrum, can he? Noddy's around the back. You've got one winger trying to defend the halfback carrying the ball, tipping on. Okay. And that's where the decision maker makes the right decision. Pass or show and go. So just a little scrum play. So there are all those little areas that we put up to start with. Kick chase, kick returns. Scrum plays, which are set plays. Goal line dropouts, which are set plays. Tap restarts, which are all set plays. That's where teams' most effective attack comes from, doesn't it? Set plays? Yeah, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier because you get all your numbers in the right place. Everyone gets a chance to run the right line. Everyone's happy. You got any questions so far? Anything you want to toss up? Is this sitting in? Is it going to make some sense to you? Are you getting something out of it? Okay. Let's forget about the game analysis now. We've put that aside. So we've broken the game down. We've looked at some review. Okay. Now we get a chance to have a look at some statistical bits and pieces. So, all right, we've watched the game. All right, and you as a coach, you put your coaching hat on, you've had a sneaking suspicion that your right edge is leaking points. Okay, now you need to support that with some statistical information. Give them some concrete behind your words, which brings in analysis, whether it be statistical or video, either one. The 2 red words are the most important ones. If it hasn't got quality and it's got no quantity to it, don't do it. So if you can't get someone to help you out, to give you something that's got a good measure in percentage, number, against an average, okay, against your team indicator, don't do it because you're wasting your time. Quantitative, just numbers. So if you've got a little stats format that you want to use and it's got numbers that you know are right, hand it over. But again, if it's not done properly and correctly, don't do it. Get a chance to tell them. Tell them what you want to tell them, and then tell them again. Because the first time when you tell them, it's lip service. The second time when you tell them, it's reinforced with a bit of video and it's reinforced with a few stats. So they're saying, oh, I get what you mean. And then through the week, when you're on the field and you're running that little short side defence there with 3 defenders calling a marker, then you're telling them the same thing again. So you've given them the point, reinforce the point, solve the point. Move on. That's important, obviously. And as a coach, you know, like if I got there's senior blokes playing in my team that have played a lot more first grade footy than I have. I'm listening to what they're telling me. Yeah, because I respect their opinions and their obviously abilities, and they know a lot more about the game than a lot more intricacies of the game than I could probably pick up. Okay, so that's really important. This bit here, okay, it's common sense, isn't it? Don't get too caught up in all the bells and the whistles and come up with a stat sheet that's got 400 rows of every particular part of the game, because I'll tell you, most of them will look at it on a Monday afternoon and it'll be in the bin Monday night after they've looked at their role and what they've come up with and whether they've performed to their expectation. So it's just about not overcompensating, not giving them too much. And as a coach, I reckon you could sit there and you could watch the same play 24 times, and then you want to change this and you want to change that, but you've got to rely on your fundamentals, what you believe is the right thing. Okay? What you believe is the right way to approach your offensive strategies and your defensive strategies. And if you've got any questions, it's really important that you either find a mentor to ask, or you work with someone else who's more experienced and has some seniority around the place that you can run some things off. You can bounce some things off. So that your structure and way you want to do things, you've got to believe in that. You've got to believe in that. You don't turn it on its head after 2 weeks. Okay, try and reinforce it. And we talked about that before. Just make sure the playing group's involved. I've got some sheets here. We'll start with the first one. As I said, do with what you please with these. You can throw them out at the end if you like. I like them. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Right, not to want to confuse. Let's just go from the top. What I did, I threw a couple of templates down there for you, because you might want to measure this. I don't know if you've got laptops or you've got access to laptops, but if you can start with that sheet. Okay, top and bottom tables. All they're just individual measures for you. So they're just a couple of little stats templates that I think, well, they work pretty good. Okay, they're pretty, they give the players a lot of information. Okay, but they also measure a couple of really important things. Can I just draw your attention to the top one? On the top one, you'll see, in the table, you'll see some effective D. Have a look at Jat Bol-Stewart. Okay, he's had 10 runs for 100 metres, so you're measuring his carry. Of those 10 runs, he won the play the ball 7 times, so you're measuring his play the ball speed. Made 2 line breaks, had 2 offloads, attempted 12 tackles, and of those 12 tackles, he won the ground 6 times, which means he got off the ground, got to marker, was set to go for the next tackle. So you're measuring his tackle efficiency there. Sorry, his tackle effectiveness on the ground, which is 50%. You see that column that says effective D? Okay, it's got 75% in it. So where that comes from is you've got 12 tackles, and you go across the page and you see that he's missed. You see that he's missed. He's got 9 points in there, but he's missed 3 tackles. All right. So what this is you don't need to have the points associated with it. So this is a points performance graph for the kids, all right, or for young adults playing the game. What the points performance does, it gives them a little number at the end. And you'll see there, Jat Bol-Stewart for that game earned 23 points. So they get a little bit of a kick out of performing, beating the point score from the week before. So across the top, where it says player's name, when you go across that top axis there, you see those little numbers in brackets. That's what each of those is worth. So a line break's worth 2. A try assist is worth 4. If you win the ground, that's worth 2 points to you. And they go to make up all the positive score. So for Jat Bol-Stewart's positives, he got 39 points that week. But 1%ers, what do you think I mean by 1%ers?
Supports.
Support play, yep.
Pushing on. Kick chase.
Kick chase. Yeah, anything else? Loose balls. Things like if you call from marker, react. Just little things like that, little things that make a big difference. And marked at -1. His missed tackles, he had 3 missed tackles and they're -3 each. So he's come up with -9 there. All right? And he came up with 1 error. And we put an error in as a -4. So all it is, positives in the game versus negatives in the game, coming up with a little point score. Okay? Try and get your points up each week. And the bottom one there is for units. So in your team, you might want to vary this some weeks. You might want to give them an individual stat sheet, or you might say, okay, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to work in our units. Because as a coach, you can see there where your missed tackles are coming from. If you look at your left unit and you see left centre's got 8, 9, 10 missed tackles, well, you know you've got a few issues. You probably see it in a game, okay, but it's easier for you to reinforce that by handing over a stat sheet. So that one's a lot simpler. Doesn't measure any points. It's just straight up stats for that particular position.
With just going top one, like you play the ball, speeds and all that, how do you measure that? Like, how do you measure it?
I don't know, I think most clubs are different.
Seconds, or what is it like? How do you
You play the ball speed as if you can get up in front of them, essentially. Yeah, so some clubs measure it differently. We tend